What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sultry Seconds. I'm getting everybody a chance to get on in here. This is an impromptu show, so nobody knew that Miss Maggie T was going live today. So I'm just going to give y'all an opportunity to get on in here because, as you see, the head topic today is going to be one of those topics. So we about to get in on this one. It was too good to not talk about this because the reactions I've been seeing since this verdict, um, it's a conversation we need to have. So let's get to it. So as everybody piling in, I see a couple of more folks. Y'all put something in the chat. Let me know you're here. How y'all doing? Welcome to Sultry Seconds. If you don't know what this is, this used to be Lust Exchange, but it's been revised. I am now just the co-host. I'm a host, and invite more people on. Y'all want to chat it up with me I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I might start doing this every Wednesday again. We'll see. But we're gonna be doing trending topics all over again, and I'm excited. So let's do it. Let's do it, people. All right. So the first topic of today, and this is our hot topic, but it's gonna go into a full topic because we just can't bypass this one with a quick little brief little moment. We really got to go in on this subject. But R. Kelly was found guilty on Monday of serving as the ringleader of a decade-long scheme to recruit women and underage girls for sex. And before we get into that, let's introduce who we have on the panel today, starting with the person to my whatever section this is. I don't know. My hand's going this way, but my camera's showing that way. So
left.
I anime, get it right. Get it right, anime.
And who do we have a pleasure of having on my show tonight?
Oh man, I'm your boy 6-Man K Styles, the artist formerly known as 6-Man K Styles. For this show, I'm just Kev.
Okay, just Kev. And below me, who do we have here? It's a new face today. How you doing?
Hey everybody, it's your girl Crystal, but I'm gonna go by Chrissy Love. Nice to see everybody out there. Nice to be on the show.
All right, Chrissy. So
Hi, Chrissy.
He's so crazy, K Styles. I swear. Don't mind him. This one is the comedian of my network guys that I work with. So, but let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly was found guilty of this, and this is decade-long event. This is piling up. Now, this is for New York. But from what I'm hearing, of course, now that this has been closed, I think New York, Chicago is next. And I think they said that his trial is going to be starting for that in Chicago. But for New York, he's facing up to 10 years to life for just these cases. So that's just the tip of the iceberg right about now. This is just the beginning of it. So before I give my opinions, let's go ahead and get into how y'all feel about the verdict. What is your reaction to it? We can start with K Styles. Go ahead, since your hand moving.
I was trying to do the hand movement so I can introduce Chrissy. Let her start it off.
Okay. Well, whoever wants to go first, that's fine because we need to get into it.
Okay. How do I feel about the verdict? I'm not shocked. Well, let me take that back. I would not have been shocked if it came back the other way. But I will say that I am happy that it did come back as guilty. Because I truly believe that R. Kelly was definitely recruiting and having sex with underage girls and just recruiting women in general in the whole sex trafficking scandal, however you want to phrase it, call it. It's been R. Kelly, in my opinion, I'm surprised it has taken this long because he has been skating on this for a long, long time. I mean, I'm in my 40s, and I remember when Aaliyah and I was at the same time.
Yeah.
So I remember when that first came out with him and Aaliyah, when she pushed her age up to 18, and okay, that kind of went away. And then, oh my goodness.
That's okay. That's okay.
Uh-oh.
Hey, we impromptu tonight, so don't worry about. Look, I didn't even have this
Oh.
plan to actually today that I was gonna do this. So look,
Okay.
whatever goes, whatever goes.
But you know, obviously the whole Aaliyah scandal situation, and then that went kind. I want to say, I don't want to say it went away, but it kind of did go away as far as in the media eyes, and he continued to make music after music. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna front. Of course, I bought plenty of R. Kelly CDs and had them on my playlist in general. But then Spark was niece, and then there's just so many things came out with him and underage girls, and then of course the surviving R. Kelly thing, and it's so many. So, and I get it. I know he was molested and all the traumatic things that went on in his childhood, but at some point, we all go through certain things, and it's up to us to take accountability and try to go and seek the type of help that we need for it. So we will not repeat that pattern. So for me, I'm happy that he was found guilty, and hopefully he'll spend the rest of his life in prison.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to some people that are watching. Chauncey M. King, what's up? Aaron, what's up? Joshua, I definitely see your comments. P. Diddy, Jay-Z guilty just like R. Kelly. Oh, we finna get all up into these subjects. Also, Elvis Presley, you pulling out some good ones. How y'all doing today? I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all share out this content and go on over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube right now and type in Sultry Seconds. And find me on there. I would like for everybody's to, the traffic to come over to YouTube. I appreciate it. But if you're on Facebook, that's just fine, just as well. But what's going on, everybody? And K Styles, how you feel about the verdict? We'll start there.
Usually when I do this, I'm in deep thought. Why are we really? Are we really surprised? Think about it. They've been building this case up on R. Kelly since 1994. Like you said, since Aaliyah. So people are already asking, why did it take so long? It's pretty much one of those cases where they've been to let the case build itself to where they have unsurmountable evidence to where they can get his ass.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I have a daughter.
Yes, you do.
You know, but the reality of it is trafficking. Like I said, some people would kind of use it as well. Trafficking is the oldest profession in the world right now, as far as trafficking and selling girls and stuff like that. But this is a very big case because it is going to open Pandora's box to a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's gonna open a whole lot of stuff. Wait, hold on. Let me get close to this so y'all can see my receding hairline and stuff. So yeah.
It's so crazy.
but for real, like I said, I'm not surprised. I mean, when you have stuff like like Chrissy said now about the surviving R. Kelly documentaries and stuff. You got when you start listening to the music and you start kind of hearing him talking about Aaliyah and all these girls and stuff like that. I don't even know what to say, man. Like I said, it's just one of those cases where they just built it enough to where, hey, we got you now. You ain't finna you ain't we not finna let, like I said, they let OJ get away for a while. They said R. Kelly ain't getting away nowhere.
You know what? And I'm glad you brought that up. We're gonna get into that just a little bit. But I guess my opinion of it is, of course, I'm not surprised. It was plain as day. Everybody was like, the documentaries that might have been rehearsed and things like that. Oh, clearly. Even when he went on the interview with was it Gayle King? Was it Gail
Mm-hmm.
King?
Oh, don't get me
Yeah.
started
Um,
on her.
it was definitely said. Some of the girls that came out about that, the ones that was on the show, said he was even in the room orchestrating that whole conversation. He basically was looking at them like, you better say what you should be saying
Yeah,
for these
you could
interviews.
tell.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, my thing is, and we're gonna definitely get into this one because this is about council culture. You know, that's what I've been having a problem with, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
is this a cancelable offense as far as who he is outside of being Robert? Now, Robert is being on, it was on trial, but the R. Kelly artist, he's a musical genius.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. And even,
You can't take it away.
yeah, even if the songs that he's not even on, he's written so many things for so many artists,
Exactly.
done so many things for a lot of people. He is really a legendary artist.
Exactly.
So I wasn't surprised with the verdict. I'm happy that it happened because of the fact that, I'm a victim myself
Mm-hmm.
of someone taking abuse to me. When I was in high school, freshman year, I was actually raped by an older
Mm.
guy, you know.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah. And grown man, looked like he was going, it just looked like he's just you won't even be surprised at these predators that's out there. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And I want to talk about the reaction after this because it's just the post that I was seeing about it. But me,
Yeah.
it's personal. It's personal because I was a victim of it. And
Understood.
I just feel like, yes, I've been listening to R. Kelly. I love R. Kelly's music. I do. But because I have girls now, that are of school age, high school and middle school, etc. Um, I don't know if I can get with listening to R. Kelly and not hearing in the back of my head who he was might have been dedicating this music to. And it
Right.
wasn't adults, adult women.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what gave him the motivation to write this music? Who is he talking about in this music? So it's like, me, I personally can't get past that fact. That's just
Mm-hmm.
me. But of course, I don't knock anybody that wants to continue to listen to him. And of course, if it comes on, it'll play. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not
Right.
going to continue to give him the streaming, uh, the money, the revenue from streaming him, etc., buying his music once again. I can't do it. But of course, I can't knock anybody that wants to listen to R. Kelly because they're saying, he's a musical genius. You can't do anything about that. And of course, you can't get away from R. Kelly's music because he's written for everybody.
Right.
So that's just how I feel about it. What do y'all want to add to that one? Should he be canceled?
It's not about should he be canceled. He's gonna be canceled regardless to a lot
Yeah,
of people.
yeah.
I mean, I know for me personally, as far as his music, like I said, I can't stop listening to his music. Like I said, and I think this is why a lot of the fans that are kind of looking at it as far as I can't cancel him because remember, we grew up on R. Kelly. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the people that he wrote for, like I said, R. Kelly was responsible for the '90s in
Oh yeah.
general.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people are not going to really cancel his music. I think it's more so if people are going to cancel what he stands for.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that too. Honestly, when I'm listening to music, whether it's in the house or wherever in the car, and he's on my playlist,
Mm-hmm.
and when his songs come on, it's kind of, for me, it's an awkward type of situation because it's like I'm battling with myself. Like, again, we've talked about he's a musical genius. We grew up on his music. He didn't make the 90s, but he was a huge part of 90s R&B, not just for himself as an artist, but for several other artists that we grew up loving too. So it's like I will sort of kind of, I may not sing along, but it's like I won't
Mm-hmm.
skip to the next song. So it's like for me, it's sort of, I'm battling with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I get
Again,
it.
with like Aaliyah, her album, like, you'll hear the age ain't nothing but a number, or at your best you are loved. They'll play that. You hear that. So it's like it's a slippery slope. I don't think it's what I have noticed. I haven't personally heard a lot of his music necessarily on the radio, but of him as an artist. But I still hear like the Aaliyahs or um maybe like some other artists that that wrote for, but maybe he's not featured on that particular song. I'll still hear some of that music. So I don't think his music is necessarily going to be canceled, but I think there will be people who will just take a stance, like how you said, that you just, because you have daughters and because you've been through it before, you know, rape and everything, that you just refuse to listen to it. So it's again, it's a slippery slope. It's trying to separate the musician from the person.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's like a bittersweet. It's like I'm struggling with it too, because he was a part of some of the greatest hits that I adore.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard. So like you said, if it comes on, I'm gonna let it play. I'm just gonna let it play, because it's like I secretly kind of want to still kind of hear it.
Right.
But yeah, like you said, you're battling with yourself. Okay, is this right? So you're really not even enjoying the song anymore.
Right.
You're really over there questioning yourself, like, should I listen to this? Should I listen to this? It's going on, and it's like, oh man, I feel guilty about this, but I'm gonna let it play. You know what I'm saying?
I guess it's also sort of like the Cosby Show, because I'm not gonna lie, I still watch the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah, but you know what? I think about the Cosby Show. I just thought it was so positive.
Yeah,
he wasn't like pursuing women and things like that. It was like college. It was all about a black family togetherness. It was grown. It was, hey, he was encouraging them to do things better in school, that type of thing. So it was a family show that needs to be watched.
Right.
Despite what might have been going on. Now, with that whole situation with Bill Cosby, though,
that's different. I mean,
that's a little different.
But it is different though.
Please, Lord have mercy. Please don't get me started on that.
Yeah, we can talk about that too. But but me, that one was more in the sense of it was mutual people coming together to have a good time.
Right. Yeah, I have a different take on that.
Yeah.
We know hey, I know the real issue behind that stuff right there.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of
But this is about R. Kelly. We ain't talking about no Bill Cosby today.
I just threw that out there.
Yeah, somebody said Freak Show. I ain't canceling nothing. Nobody want to talk about the real problem. I mean, I'm curious, Freak Show, and I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with this. Because that's where we're getting into next. And that is basically the reaction of the verdict, the fans. So I think I know where he's going with it, because everybody is basically feeling like they went after R. Kelly. This is a chance. This is another opportunity to bring a black man down. So I think that's where he's going with it, and it's a lot. That's why I said it's people on the fence about this situation. And I was actually surprised at the reaction to it, but at the same time, I'm not surprised, because they were already kind of voicing this when the allegations start coming up, and it was like, well, whatever. We love R. Kelly. We don't care. We're gonna keep playing him. Play him, that's fine, but for what he stands for, you should have some problem with that. And he was found guilty. He was actually found guilty for these allegations. They had obviously enough evidence, and I know everybody was like, well, why does it take so long? I guess they just really needed to build that case up strong enough.
That's really what it is.
Because this is not the only place that he's going to be charged at. This is just New York, like I said. So it's more coming. You know what I'm saying? So, a Freak Show, I would like to know what you mean about nobody want to talk about the real problem. What do you think about that? Everybody's feeling like they're coming after R. Kelly, kind of like the Bill Cosby situation. Now, that one, like I said, that's a different topic. I have a different opinion about that situation.
I do too.
I don't put the two together.
Right.
I don't. So, what do y'all think about that? Do you think this was just a way to distort him and kind of, get him off the scene and everything else, like to bring him down? Or is he just personally guilty for what he's doing? Should he be, be punished for what he's done?
I'll go and start this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this one a whole different direction. Like I said, if I whatever comes out of my mouth, I don't want to get you canceled for this, but
Wait, watch me.
let
They
let
ain't
let,
know I'm
let,
on
let,
it.
let yeah, let's look at it like this. This is why I said this is gonna open a whole new thing because in reality, this pedophilia, this trafficking stuff. This is stuff that goes on in Hollywood and in that entertainment industry anyway.
Oh,
That shit,
absolutely.
that shit is kept low. See what I really think they try to do is they're trying to put R. Kelly as the face of it, so they can do away with it and still do it underneath.
Hmm.
That's not saying that what he did wasn't justified. No, you don't justify doing that stuff to women. You don't
Yeah,
justify that doing that with little girls. Ain't no
yeah,
way in hell with that.
yeah,
Um, if we look at like I said, the fans' reaction, like I said, people grew up on R. Kelly. When that tape first came out, the reason why he wasn't found guilty because my bad. What evidence did you really have? You had a tape that could look like anybody.
And the funny thing is, I never wanted to watch that tape. I've never looked at it myself
I was
personally.
just getting ready to say I never seen it. I saw like a still shot of it, but I never saw the actual tape.
I just didn't.
But
I just didn't
people,
want to.
right?
I ain't never seen
People,
I ain't never seen it, but I just came to a conclusion, like I said, especially when you look at those cases back then. Like I said, you didn't really
mhm,
have conclusive evidence because remember, they was throwing his brother into it.
right?
They threw his
Oh
brother
yeah.
into it. So
Hmm.
you didn't know if it was R. Kelly or his brother. So
Yeah.
that's why they threw it out at the beginning. But but what the issue is as we look at like I said, what really messed him up was that Surviving R. Kelly documentary that came out.
Ooh, yes.
That right there is really what the whole purpose of that documentary because they wanted to get his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
That, like I said, that wasn't a good look for him. I was gonna say, man, I was about to say when he made the song, keep it on the down low. Boy, he is gonna have a whole different meaning when they throw
That's
that
what I'm
motherfucker.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like I
All his
can't listen to
songs
his
have a
music the
different
same.
meaning now,
It
though.
has a
All his
different meaning as well.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
have a
it's like
whole.
now when you listen to it, you're like, when you hear Leah say age ain't nothing but a number. Uh-huh. You may be young, but you ready. Uh-huh. Like it's like
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like it was written. It was written in the songs. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
now it's coming together a little bit more. Because I'm thinking, I was a damn kid listening to this stuff, and oh, age, seems like you're ready and all that.
Right.
I was like, I was knowing my
Yeah.
behind shouldn't be listening to this anyway, but I was vibing to it. I'm like, he
yeah.
talking about a grown woman over here. I'm finna be
Mhm.
grown and doing grown
That
woman
part.
stuff to this song,
That
but
part.
little does he know he messing around with young women. Now, Freak Show, I'm glad you came back and gave us what you meant by that. Girls have always been lying about their ages, and we all know those girls that would leave
Oh,
school to go see the
can I
Chester.
please? Oh, oh,
Yes, yes, and this is what I really wanted to go into.
oh, can I
And
please? Oh,
Freddie Chico, we can't see your comment. We can. Um, Go ahead,
Mhm.
Christy. Just go ahead because I'm finna go in on this
okay.
one.
Okay. Okay, so I was in high school in the 90s, graduated in the 90s, etc. And yes, let's put the elephant in the room. Let's discuss the elephant in the room. Yes, there were many girls my
Mhm.
age who were 16, 17, dating men who were 20, 21 in college or working or were
Oh yeah.
grown men, etc.
Hmm.
Now, with that being said, was it right? Of course, at the time, maybe he was like, oh, women, young girls or teenage girls, we not every teenage girl, but for a lot, we're like, oh, but this man, young man or older guy likes you or whatever. We say, oh, I got, boys our age are not mature, etc., etc., etc. And of course, yeah, that happened.
Mm-hmm.
However, at the end of the day, most times when mothers found out that 16 and 17-year-old teenage girls were dating older men, they nipped it in the bud or tried their best to nip it in the bud. And so it is, I hear that argument or that defense, but at the same time, R. Kelly was almost 30 with 14-year-olds.
Yes. Yes.
You can't even really, like, a 18 and a 21-year-old technically, or 17 and 21-year-old technically, but still, it's just different. I don't.
It's yeah.
It's
I mean,
it's
and I'm gonna add
different.
to that. I'm gonna add to it because
All
I'm gonna elaborate on that a little bit more. I'm gonna get to you in a minute, K Styles. But
right.
I feel that yes, when I was in school as well, it was girls getting with older men. But you
Mm-hmm.
got to understand the mindset of these young girls at that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they didn't know no better. They just saw they was intrigued by an older guy because he knew the
It's
right things to say, what to
that
do,
part.
how to persuade him. And it's like giving candy to a baby. It's like, hey, you want some money? You want to go out here? You want some shoes? Yes. You're
Right.
gonna fall for that because you already know this little high school little boy ain't gonna be able to do that for you. So
Right.
now, like you said, does that make that act correct? No, it's wrong. It's still wrong no matter how you slice it, whether she was in agreement to it or not. It's still wrong that adult male or female
Right.
know they're approaching an underage child and are still pursuing it, even if they pretended to be, of an age, and then you find out later they're not. Come on, if you're meeting them at high school or whatever, wherever you're
Right.
meeting these women at, come on now. They and
And
you got
men, are you
admit
that slow? And
admit
men, are you,
and you
are
said
you
like
that
look at it
slow?
like that. My thing is back in the day, girls wasn't like stacked like they are now. At the
That
same
part.
time, we was looking like little teenage girls at that time. You know what I'm saying? So you clearly knew that these are because everybody wasn't getting all that done and
And
eating
men, come
in
on,
the
are you
food.
that slow? Are you that slow that, okay, say you meet a 15-year-old and she says she's 19. Through the conversation, in
You're gonna
some
get that.
point, you're gonna realize that this girl is immature, that she has a mindset of a teenage. To me, that's not an excuse. I'm sorry. I call bullshit on that. I'm just sorry. That doesn't fly with me. And the same thing, it went on with coaches. I mean, the other elephant in the room too. How many times in high school have we seen coaches or
Oh, the
or
see,
male
see,
teachers who was fresh out of college and dating on the low, younger than, I don't want to just make it seem like it's a man, just the men were doing it, because there are situations or cases where
women.
women as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but my whole point is, at the end of the day, if she does lie about her age, you should be wise enough as a man, smart enough as a man, to realize at some point in time, this girl is not grown. She's not
Mm-hmm.
mature.
Mm-hmm. Especially a young girl, but it's like she's living with her parents. You probably got, sneak around and pick her up at certain, it's just certain
Mm-hmm.
things. She's in school. She's living with her mama.
Right.
It's just things that we were restricted. Or then again, sometimes these parents don't be giving a what's going on with their child. So they
That's
probably
true
do
too.
have a little open availability to do what they want. Because I know my mom had to work certain times of that,
Right.
hours. My dad had to work at certain time of the hour. And it was a time where I was by myself. But
Mm-hmm.
see, I was fearful of my parents.
That part.
Now, of course, I still was cutting up at school, but I wasn't jumping in nobody's car,
Right.
to go find me some fun. Of course, when I was picked up, it was basically against my will. That was my situation there. But
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't volunteering myself in that situation at all. So, and Knight said, I grew up on R. Kelly's music, and I'm not surprised about the verdict. I mean, it's plain as day. It was bound to happen. And go ahead, K Styles.
All right, I got two questions here when it come to that. Okay, so when y'all was talking about the conversation about the older guys, like I said, as we've established that, especially around that time, those teenage girls love older men for what they can provide. That,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, high school guys can do it. So my first question was, when you see them girls, I'm trying. And like I said, I'm kind of making light of this part, but was it a box Chevy sitting on 22s that y'all saw that y'all liked?
That's what the
Oh
joke
my
is
goodness.
anyway. It was like the comment was like you just said, well, we ain't talking about the truth. Is like they was jumping in these box Chevys, and you're right. Of these men, does it make it? Why aren't y'all, big broadcasting that? And it's like because it was swept under the rug. You was sneaking to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't tell your mama I'm in a car with a grown ass man. You didn't tell your mama that.
Right.
And she might have not found out about it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a secret is a lie. And it was everything is thrown on the rug. So it doesn't make it any better than the act that is happening. Right. Go ahead.
And then I got a second question to go with that. Do you think it's more so of some of the parents that really doesn't teach these girls what to look for as far as not putting themselves in a situation like that? Or do you feel like it's just the girls just being rebellious from what their parents taught them?
Probably both. Well, both in some situations.
It's a little bit of both. I agree with that one. Yeah. Some are raised right. Some are taught
right
not to do this, but it's like they're feeling themselves. You already know hormones and kids just you
and I'm a teacher.
You can do so much for one. Exactly. You're a teacher. So you understand how that goes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, no, I'm a teacher, so I there are some parents who, and that's the other maybe discussion, or a lot of people feel the parents need to be accountable as well, which I do understand that, and I do agree with that as well. But kids are kids, and teenagers are teenagers. We all, once we hit a teenager, we started to two-parent home, single-parent home, foster home. It didn't matter. As a teenager, at some point in your life, and you are lying if you say you did not, that you were always a quote unquote angel. It did, you just wanted to try something, rebel a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Your mama said no. I'm gonna do it.
I told you that's what happened to me. I was skipping class when that incident happened to me. I was skipping class. I was in a school, Harper Archer, where because I didn't test a certain way, they felt I wasn't good enough for a magnet program. So I was bored when I went to Harper Archer. Okay. I was bored. I was acing school. I was like, I don't even need to be in class. So I was cutting class. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Mom and dad in the home. They very strict and disciplined me and all this, but I still did what I wanted to do. So you can instill in your child all day, every day. I'm dealing with my oldest. I taught her everything. I told her all about everything that's happened to me to teach her a lesson. But guess what? They're gonna still get curious and still gonna want to try things and try you in the process. So it's like you can't knock all the parents. Now
it's just like a baby. You can tell the baby that the stove is hot all day long, but they're not going to realize until they put their hand on it. And it's just it is what it is at times. Oh yeah. Oh, hand up again.
Okay, Style. What you got?
I'm about to say, Chrissy, I'm sorry, because usually when I got questions, that's when I throw the hands up. Maggie know this better than anybody. So is it like what I said with the child fearing themselves? When we talk about the certain parents and stuff, do you feel like the parents that are too strict on their daughters or kids really kind of push their kids to kind of want to try stuff out? Because I know when it comes to teenagers, and like I said, we all been teenagers, so we already know what our parents say is wrong. We want to find out why it's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're right.
In my opinion, I'm not a parent, but I'm a teacher, and an auntie, so I kind of feel like I'm a surrogate parent. But I think for the most part, in my opinion, I think you have to have a balance. You have to have I'll use myself as an example. I'm the youngest of two older sisters, and my older sister is 10 years older than me, and my middle sister is 7.5 years older than me. So when I was basically a kid, they went in high school on their way out high school, etc.
Okay. So they was
They
kind of, y'all had a
always,
disconnect because of the age
yeah, it was like,
gap.
yeah. So they might, of course they were like, oh, you got away with everything. But I had, like, for example, I really didn't have a curfew, but I knew what time not to come to my mom's house. Because like you said, Maggie, I had a fear of, not fear, but
Yeah.
respect. I
A
just
respect.
knew
Yeah.
they
There you
instilled
go.
in me, like, you just can't come
Hmm.
in the house at all times of the night, etc. And I think as long as parents allow their kids to explore, to be a kid, not to be so strict and like, oh, you can't go out with your friends, or you can't be on this extracurricular activity, or you can't do this. As long as you have that balance, and I don't think that a child will rebel. I mean, of course, there will always be exception to the rule, but when you're strict and you won't let your child do anything, I think that's when
Oh
the
yeah.
like the
Mm-mm.
situations with the girls from R. Kelly, because maybe they just wanted some freedom, or wanted to experience what it's like not to be confined. That's just my opinion. So
Well,
Okay.
huh.
I agree with that. And before we get into the next one, I just want to let everybody know, if you want to join in on the conversation, I know that y'all didn't know this live was going on. The link is in the chat. If you want to join the link in the stream to add your feedback to this topic, you're more than welcome. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want to. If you're camera shy, we'll just hear your audio. You can hide your camera. It'll have you set up when you get on the link. But go ahead and K Style. I'm gonna add my 2 cents to it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I know y'all tired of me raising my hand like I'm in a damn school and stuff.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, okay, so another question. Oh God, this is something that I actually kind of researched a while back ago. So, do you think that that a guy that's over the age of 20 that is looking for these high school girls, do you think that these guys are lacking in self-esteem to pull girls that the women their own age, to where they know that, okay, you got younger women that look at older guys, that are attracted to older guys, and know that that's the easy target?
Hmm.
Because the
I'm
reason why,
I think I'm
oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, I was about to say, because the reason why I asked that is because I look at certain other countries around this world, and it's kind of like when you look at arranged marriages and how these guys be looking at these girls, especially with this sex trafficking stuff, they actually be older guys that be between 21 and 30 that be looking for these girls that are 14 and 15, because they're looking at them and thinking, oh, these girls are pure, such and such and such and such. I can train
Hmm.
her to do what I want her to do because she's
Exactly.
young.
Yep.
But like I said, stop beating around the bush. Do you think a guy that's over the age of 21 looking for a girl over the age of 14 is somebody that lacks self-esteem and ain't got no rhythm in his own shit?
I can say I'm gonna say that. And I want to finish elaborate on the about the discipline, and I'm gonna get back to your topic. But as far as discipline, like she said, it's kind of going to that. It's when it's too strict, they will rebel because they don't have an opportunity to get out there and feel a little bit of freedom, and they're locked
Mhm.
in. So when you kind of shield their eyes, sometimes you're doing them a disservice by
Right.
teaching them what could be out there. You're just trying to shelter them. A lot of time these girls that's out there are those sheltered girls, or they went through something. But it's going into your topic though. I feel yes, it's because we got a guest. I'm gonna get you on in a minute, Joe. Um, I feel yes, the people that go out and pursue these young girls is because it's an easy catch. Like you said, you can train them. It's all you got to do is throw a little something, flash a little something for them, and then you get
Right.
what you want out of them. A
I
grown
agree.
woman, it's a challenge. You got to do a lot for them, and a lot of these men don't want to deal with that. And then of course
Right.
it can either be it's something sick in their head. They just prey on these girls because they're so young, like you said, that she's pure, all this kind of stuff. It's a lot of freak people out there. But it's also
Right.
some people just like looking at it like I ain't got to do too much. for this little girl because all I gotta do is just take her out to eat or something, throw her some shoe money, and get the nails done, and she's happy. You know, so
I
I
agree.
feel like they're preying on these women because it's an easy challenge. That's how I feel
Right.
about it.
Okay.
And just real quick before you bring on the next guest, I just want to piggyback off of that because again, I've been teaching for a while, and in the elementary setting, and this is just a quick example of how, as little girls or mothers or anyone who's raising young girls, need to be aware. This is sort of a different topic, but as far as dress, now when I say dress, I'm not saying that any type of dress is the cause of anybody getting molested
I
or
get what
raped or
you're
anything
saying.
like
I
that.
get what you're saying.
But
Mm-hmm.
I had a fifth grade student. I was teaching pre-K, but I had a fifth grade student that would come in to help me out with when they didn't have anything to do like in their class. So she would read stories. She would help me put stuff on the wall, etc., etc., etc. One particular time, I had a student that was getting picked up by her uncle. Now her uncle was probably, I'm going to say like 19, 20, somewhere in there, late teen, early 20s. This little girl who was in fifth grade, very beautiful girl, shapely, wore her hair like not in pigtails, but like a bob or something like that. So he picked the little girl up, his niece up. He kept staring at the girl, the fifth grade girl. So I thought he wanted to see me. So I was like, "Do you need to see me?" And he mouthed to me saying, like, "Who is she?" With like he wanted to holler at her.
Oh,
And I was like, yeah.
oh,
So I had to tell him, I said, her name is 10. Her name is 1010. Please take whatever his niece's name was. But I just thought about it though. Like that kind of disturbed me because what
you
if,
know, in a school like that, and you're looking at her like that. Oh,
right? So that's what I'm saying when I say when people say, "Oh, well, these little girls lie about their age or they're shaped like women or whatever." At the end of the day, if you're a grown man, the responsibility is on you. Period. I don't care if she is shaped like Serena Williams at 15 years old. The
mm-hmm.
responsibility is on you, bruh. And I
Oh
have
yeah.
no remorse or I have no sympathy for you when you get caught up in situations like that. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. And I want to get into freak shows coming. I've been wanting to try to get to that, but it says perverts don't think. Every man knows 15 gets you 20. Are teaching our babies now to get the bag and get them a sugar daddy. Truth, some mothers are pushing their daughters to be grown. I agree with that. And I want to go ahead and get Joe on here now. Chrissy, you can jump off if you want to, or you can stay on. It doesn't matter. But I'm gonna add Joe to the topic, and if you want to put
Mm-hmm.
his 2 cents in there as well. What are your thoughts on this whole R. Kelly verdict? Can you hear me? Are you there, Joe? He might not be able to hear me.
Joe, I think you might be muted. I'm about to say you might want to switch that up a little bit. But
You might, yeah, check your audio. Okay.
okay. Oh no, he's still kind of muted.
Okay. If you have some headphones or anything, maybe try that.
Yeah. I about to say we can't. Okay.
Okay. If you have some headphones or anything, maybe try that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I hear an echo. Is your sound up? Okay. If you have some headphones or anything, maybe try that.
I'm about to say, are you watching the stream at the same time? Are you watching the stream at the same time? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about to say, cut
Turn
the
the stream down because we can hear the
stream
echo.
down. Yeah.
If not, we'll just probably just try this again. Hello. How you doing? We can hear you now.
some.
Okay. Just let me know. I'm gonna put you down in a minute, and just let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna send you a group chat. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, because our audio still kind of janky right now. Trust me, I know. I I have a reputation for having very janky ass auto. I know. Yeah, I already know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's trying to fix his device. Okay, so we're gonna let him fix his device. But yeah, so I agree with that. Is it you really can't blame all parents, but like you said, with the dress of some of these girls, um some parents are a little bit more lenient towards what their little girl is wearing, and and they get mad at the fact that
Right.
you call them out about it, and basically our attitude is, well, yeah, I was dressing like that when I was back in school, and etc. And guess what happened? These grown men was looking at us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They was praying. I'm like, I was out one day with because I have a daughter that's older, and she's actually bigger than me, hips,
Mm-hmm.
hips, and everything else,
Oh
and
wow.
all that going on, and they looking at her, and I'm in line with me like we sisters or something. I'm like, what's going
No
on here?
man. No, 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 sir.
And then she got hips and behind where she can't help her
Right.
shape. And I don't
Right.
want her wearing no baggy pants either, but
Right.
her
But yeah.
clothes are presentable. She ain't walking around with shit hanging out and all that kind of stuff. I just refuse. I want my little girls to be, adult women, little young adults carry
Right.
themselves with a little bit more class, and be a little bit more
Exactly.
classy when they walk around, because you don't want to get nobody no invite to, especially if you ain't
Especially.
that type of person. Don't invite
Right.
nobody to it. You're not saying that, like you said, it
You just
causes
don't
the
know who's
reaction.
crazy in the head
You
or
don't know who's
perverted.
who's perverted like that.
Yeah,
Willie, are
you
you
really
ready?
don't.
Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. Let's try it again. Let me see. I think he's still having. He's not ready. Okay. I think he's having some audio issues. We can try this again. Go ahead, K Styles.
Okay, so I know, like I said, y'all want to hit the kind of the it's some about this case that I wanted to think about that kind of blew my mind as far as dealing with these child
Okay.
trafficking cases and stuff like that. Um, are the people around R. Kelly need to be blamed as well as him for allowing it to happen?
That's a quick question, and I'm glad you brought that up. And I wanted to get into that definitely. It's like, okay, R. Kelly is guilty now, but
Mm-hmm.
where are the people that pretty much, come on? I know he wasn't that.
Co-find it.
I know he wasn't that good that he hid everything properly.
No, they
Well,
they
So
don't.
it's like y'all knew this was going
Right.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Even the parents now,
Right.
because
I mean,
it
it's
was girls
accountability
after
to
the fact,
all
even
around.
after the Aaliyah thing, after everything else and stuff was starting to come out. These
That
girls are
part.
still being allowed to hang out with R. Kelly.
Exactly. Exactly. Accomplices. It's like you all were accomplices as well, because you first of all, I remember I didn't see every episode of Surviving R. Kelly, but I do remember one particular episode and one person who was talking, and he basically said R. Kelly was asking them to go to that whatever that real popular mall in Chicago that they would go to with all the teenagers with teenage girls and probably teenagers in general, but obviously they was going to look for the girl. Like, you have a brain. You knew that was not appropriate. You knew that was morally wrong and legally would, against the law. Like, so you don't get any leeway with me either.
Yeah,
Now, you may not have been having sex with the underage girls, but you set it up in a sense. You
you did.
facilitated.
You did. You knew what it was about. You just hush hush, like K Styles had his hands up about the money. It was all about, hey, I'm just on his clock. He's paying me, and I'm liking this
Right.
situation. So I ain't gonna
Mhm.
say nothing. I'm not
So
gonna say
Right.
a
so
word.
so so so
Right.
so the
And I
hand
think
goes
Joe
back
is
up.
ready. I'm gonna try Joe. I'm gonna put Joe back up here too, and then I definitely want to get your idea. But go ahead, K Styles.
So I was about to say, with this type of case right here, do you think with R. Kelly getting the verdicts that he getting, do you think that these courts need to put the same energy to the people around him? Like you said,
Oh
the
yeah,
people, like you said,
yeah.
the people that was doing the surviving R. Kelly documentary, his wife, she said she was abused for 13 years in his relationship. But the issue that I have with that is even when you divorced him, you still kept the Kelly name.
You stepped in Kelly name. You kept it quiet. You didn't
You kept
say
it quiet.
anything.
We didn't even
So
know
what?
R. Kelly was married. I
So
didn't.
Yeah.
so so so
Hmm.
so so we look at the ex-wife is, did you really keep the name because of you felt like the bloodline of y'all kids and you want to keep the kids with the father, or did you really keep the name and you said he's such a monster? Did you really keep the name because of the money behind it?
It was her personal thing. It was just basically, uh, it was her paycheck. I'm pretty sure she was
Mhm.
getting good money for this. You know what I'm saying? What you got? I don't want to hold you up, Joe. What you got to say on this topic? You can go anywhere you want to go with it since you kind of coming late to the game. How do you feel
Can,
about this whole situation?
can you hear me?
I can hear you
Can
well
Yes.
you
now.
hear me?
We
Hmm.
good.
Yes.
We good.
Okay. All right. Well, he did what he did. We all know. We all know what, and we've been knowing what was happening. So we can't play stupid.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
at the same time, it's like I guess the age I'm at, and I'm the one. I'm freak show. So
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
Okay.
So I'm I don't really I don't really feel nothing for no 16 to 17, 18-year old. I really don't because
Hmm.
first they lied about their age. I used to work at a club and I found out a couple of females done had fake IDs that could have shut
Hmm.
everything down.
Yeah.
Now, if you tell me now that a 15, 16, 17-year old doesn't have the mind and can be manipulated, then why don't you say the same thing about the young men that 15, 16, 17 that goes out shoot at somebody? Because I can go in a courtroom and say, well, they're not mentally stable, so why should we be blaming them? People are responsible. Those young girls knew what they was getting into. Now, R. Kelly is a dirty mug, and we're not going to say he's
Yeah.
not. Chester
Definitely.
has always been. He knew what he was doing. He finally got
Yeah.
caught. But we are not going to make these bras out to be little angels that he met at Toys R Us. We're not going to do that because he didn't meet them at Toys
Well, yeah.
R Us.
I mean, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. They knew they were intrigued by the fashion and who the stardom of who R. Kelly is. And like I said, these
Exactly.
stories have been out, so it's like no, they wasn't going into it blindly. I definitely can say that
Hmm.
now. I can definitely say that. When I say mental capacity, I'm talking about even though they knew what they were doing, they didn't realize they didn't take into action of what the consequences would be, what they're really getting. They just thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But does that does that mean it's right? No.
No,
Regardless if
no,
they
Oh
were
no,
hell
no,
fully
no,
Does
that
that
aware
no,
of
mean
it.
he should?
no, no. That doesn't mean it was right at all.
Does
What
that
it
mean he
Mhm.
means
shouldn't be in
is that
jail?
we have to have a conversation with our girls. That
Yes.
is what I'm
right.
saying. We
Okay,
cannot
so does
have this
that mean?
conversation no more because this has been in our communities for decades. We got to tell these girls the truth. We got
Yeah.
to tell them who to watch out for. Remember, they used to say, watch out for that little blue van or that brown van on chips. Those are kidnappers. No, nowadays they got them nice looking cars and
Mm-hmm.
they can't get a grown woman because, and that's another reason why I think R. Kelly messed with him because mentally I don't think he's there.
He was
I think
yeah.
he's a musical genius, but I think he's kind of slow in the head because anybody
Well, he
keeps
was
doing this
illiterate.
has to
We
be
knew
slow.
that he
Yeah,
was
yeah, he was
illiterate.
definitely illiterate. And you had a question,
Yeah,
Reese?
so
No, I hear what you're saying, Joe, and I agree with that. Obviously a 15, 16, and 17-year-old is not a 8, 9, 10-year-old maturity wise.
Yeah.
However, with that being said, are you saying that R. Kelly should not be in jail and because at the end of the day, he still was, because I believe R. Kelly was 27 when he married Aaliyah at 14. That is not 18 and 14 or 17 and 14 or 16 and or so I hear what you're saying and I'm not disagreeing with it, but it just seems like sometimes people, I don't know.
But see, R. Kelly couldn't out. They want to R. Kelly couldn't have a conversation with you.
Huh?
He couldn't have a conversation with you.
No.
Because he doesn't think like that.
Yeah.
See, these guys only go after what they can. It's always been like that. What they can handle. You know, I laugh at these guys my age now. I'm 47. And I ask my niece, my nieces, what kind of men be up in the club? What kind of 40-year-old man would go to a 20-some-year-old club?
That part. I mean, that part.
I was saying that with a heartbeat. A 40-year-old man that can't get none his age.
Yeah.
It's like these are grown predators. Even at 40, they predators. That's it. Right. Only thing they can show you is money. And the thing is, these young girls don't know. And yeah, that money comes with whips and chains and abuse. Yeah. That's what it is. That's the truth. These guys want to control you. That's the problem. They can't control nobody their age, but they can control somebody because they want daughters. I hate to say it like that, but they act like they want daughters. They don't want girlfriends. They want something they can control. Mm-hmm. And that's what he wants. Something he can control.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of those young girls may not have a father in the home or a father figure. And so they are, in a sense, trying to get that father figure in men like that. So they prey on, it's like they're preying on each other in a sense, kind of.
You know what? And I'm glad you brought that up because, like I said, with my incident that happened to me when I was a young child, high school, after that, I didn't feel like I knew what my worth was anymore. So yes, I started getting promiscuous and I started getting out there, doing my thing because before I got serious with my first relationship where I got pregnant, I was searching for companionship. I was searching for somebody to be that figure for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a real strong relationship with, my stepfather. Biological father, he was nowhere to be found, that type of situation. So I didn't have that, even though I had both parents in the home, but I still didn't have that connection with my father. You know what I'm saying? So I was searching for that. I felt when that happened to me, I didn't have any more value because it was my first time, if you will, so I reacted based on that. And yeah, I was out there kind of skipping school, hanging out with boys and all that kind of stuff and just doing what I shouldn't have been doing. But at that point, it was like, whatever now, I'm just trying to search for it. And like my first relationship I was in long term, I was searching for that person to be that person, that father for me, that father figure, et cetera, et cetera. And it didn't work out because I was looking for that relationship for the wrong reasons, and I was hoping that somebody was able to heal me. I didn't heal myself in this situation. I was going through something traumatic and I was looking for somebody to save me and make up for that. And I didn't take the time out to fix who I was. So I'm better now, I have to talk about it today because I am over it and I'm better now. But you kids go through that. Go ahead, K-Style.
Exactly.
So, another question. I know y'all sick and tired of these questions that's coming out now. But so, question is like you said with your experience, especially, and you actually brought up an interesting point, especially when you talk about your biological father and stuff like that. Do you think that while R. Kelly was going to these malls and getting his people to get these girls, do you feel like that these girls were looking for R. Kelly to be that father figure, somebody that can show them the way? I'm talking about where their mindset is actually thinking at the time, because they're thinking R. Kelly, superstar, money, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got a father in my life. He could be that to be the person to fill the void in my life, and they
Yeah.
like you said, they find out later that he's over here doing things he ain't supposed to be doing as a grown
Yeah.
ass man.
Like you really cling to, like in my situation, I did cling to men looking for that. Somebody to fill a void and that type of thing. And honestly, I don't. The girls, like I said, are excited about the flash. I think Chrissy jumped off. Excited about the flash of somebody that got a lot of money and things like that. At the same time, though, in R. Kelly's situation, it's probably also where it was a mother that was single herself and saw an opportunity, like, oh, well, this is an opportunity for me to also get some type of income from this. So I'm going to allow my daughter to go on over here and hang out with R. Kelly, knowing, who damn well R. Kelly is. But they was turning they turned their face from it. It's like, well, at least my hands agrees with some money. I'm gonna overlook everything. You're
Mhm.
telling me that he's not doing anything.
Right,
Okay,
right.
I'm gonna believe you, and I just like these paychecks that's coming in. So go ahead and over there and hang out and spend the
Mm-hmm.
night. My thing is, you living with R.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly. That was my
Right.
Mm-hmm.
problem with things. You are staying with R. Kelly. You're
Mm-hmm.
okay with your daughter doing that with an artist like that, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not there. I'm finna be there with I'm like, no, where my room at? I need to be there with you if we're gonna be doing this with R. Kelly. I'm sorry.
Lord
That's
have
how I
mercy.
feel about
Lord have mercy, man. And like I said, basically what you just literally said there is you have some parents out here that really just think of the money more so than their own child's safety.
it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
And the way that you just described that is very similar on what they tried to get Michael Jackson for.
Yeah.
Right.
And we know
Yep.
Michael Jackson was found not guilty on the shit because the parents they found out the parents lied on all that shit.
Right.
But Mike was doing Mike
Mike
was
is just a
doing dumb
weird
stuff
ass
too,
dude.
man.
He's
Shoot,
a weird ass dude.
you didn't have no sleepover with no 10-year-old dude.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you don't do
I
that.
don't care
You
how
don't
many
do that.
kids you are. We ain't having no sleepover with no kids. No, no, no. You can see the giraffes in the morning. You gotta go home.
My thing about Michael Jackson though, just like you said with R. Kelly, he might not be quite. He
Yeah.
might think in a sense of a child, sometimes. So with
Mhm.
Michael Jackson,
Mike
it was
didn't
kind of
have a
evident
childhood.
he didn't have a
He was a real
childhood,
life
so he was a
man.
real life kid in his head. So I think he
Mhm.
had a complex with that too. So I think the way Joe
Now
beat his
see, now
behind,
see, see,
he
y'all
he
just made up
changed.
excuses for Mike. Y'all just made up some excuses for
It's not
Mike.
an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's just
No.
basically
Nah, the
we
thing is
feel
that
that.
that's not an excuse because they actually found that he wasn't guilty on anything. They found out that the parents actually lied about his situation. The problem with Michael Jackson was they wanted that Sony catalog. That's what that was. They want Michael Jackson on so much percentage of Sony, they wanted that shit by any means necessary. So by putting his name out there with the kids and stuff like that, it was gonna be a point to where, okay, we gotta get there, get him out here so we can get that catalog for the low.
Well, I
Well, and
can't stop listening to R. Kelly. I can't. I
no,
can't stop
no,
listening.
no, and I
It
say
ain't
No,
I
I
don't
gonna
don't
I
know.
don't
happen.
blame nobody, and I don't feel like because we still watch TV shows of people that are all kinds. It's a lot of pedophilia
Right.
going
Yeah.
on in
I mean,
Hollywood.
12 play,
Yeah.
12
Shit, we
play
watch.
got me through the 90s.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like you ain't gonna be able to get away from listening or watching something where somebody done did something. You can't
Yeah.
control that. So I'm not saying we should cancel. You should not listen to his music. He's a musical genius. Now, as far as when you said making an excuse for Michael Jackson, you can hear in his speech when he talk, you can tell he just had a child mindset. Now, if he was guilty of it, of course, you know,
Exactly.
it's still wrong because he's a grown adult dealing with children. But I just felt like in his interviews, he just seemed like he just had something going on with him.
I yeah. maybe that's just my love for Mike, and I just don't want to believe it. But I just felt like, in his mind, he thought he was really having. I'm going to invite this 12-year-old, and we're gonna go out my backyard, and I had amusement park in my backyard, and then we're gonna eat popcorn, and we're just gonna have a sleepover, just like you have a sleepover. That's just how.
But I see what Joe talking about with that.
That's right.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
You're good.
No, I was gonna say, but I see what Joe talking about.
It may be.
Like that, at the end of the day, you a grown ass man. You don't need to be around no kids, regardless.
Yeah. Somebody in his camp should have been like, "No, Michael, that's." I
love Mike.
He can sleep in his bedroom.
Yeah, you have that's when you have too many yes people around you. So that's a whole nother subject. You have too many yes people. Somebody got to tell you, no, this ain't right. I don't care how
Go ahead, Joe.
Now, we all love Mike. I'm not saying he did nothing, but I'm saying the look of it, he should have had, just like R. Kelly, you have managers and people to tell you no. And when you get to that part where you just not listening, then you the problem. R. Kelly should have been told no over and over, but people was getting paid under the table. People was getting paid to turn the eye. So they all are guilty. I don't care. Everybody is guilty. But it's one thing about R. Kelly I want to say, though. You have never heard him say anything about Aaliyah. Nothing. Yeah. He won't bring her up. I really think he did love that girl.
I think so. I think so. She was going on his interviews with him. They was dressing alike. Right. Yeah, I think he really had a thing for Aaliyah. I really think he really wanted a true relationship, and maybe was trying to groom her to be into his, be his woman. But of course, it was so in the media that, of course, they shot all that down, and everybody put it out there. And it was like, oh no, we can't have this. You got to, because there was an interview. He was on the couch with her, and they was dressed alike, and somebody had broke it down, and it was like you could just tell by the way that Aaliyah was answering her questions and the way he was looking at her, like they had already rehearsed this conversation when they was asking these questions. It's like, okay, so you're gonna say this, you're gonna act like, but they was why y'all dressed alike? Come on now. Why?
Now, we used to dress alike in the 90s. Come on now.
But I'm just saying.
But
I get like where they was in a relationship.
I get where she's going with it, because if you actually look at that first Aaliyah album cover, they was dressed alike. It was Aaliyah in the front, but you saw R. Kelly ass in the back. Like, I dare y'all to say something to this girl. I'm telling you.
He was like looking back like, He like,
no,
hey.
The video though. The video. At your best.
Yeah. That motherfucker looking like this, like, hey, I am the best.
And then it's the whole age ain't nothing but a number. That was clear as day right there. Age ain't nothing but a number. What you mean, R. Kelly? What you mean? Because you over here with Aaliyah. What you mean? So age ain't nothing but a number.
He was 27 though, and she was like 15.
Yeah, 15.
27. Yeah. So.
But I also want to throw out this. Now, we've been to concerts. I used to work backstage at some. I've never seen nobody get ID'd backstage at a concert. No. Let her in. If people actually knew some of these stars that did that, it'd be R&B be canceled.
That's what I said. It's out there.
Ain't even R&B.
Well, you're right.
It's more of that.
Yeah. Shit, country would be canceled if that's the case. What you talking about? Like, hey, make sure you let her go in there. Don't touch my tractor now. You'll be seeing stuff like that.
But no, I mean, I agree with you right there, Joe. It was, R. Kelly just got caught. But this is pretty much what's been going on, what's happening with these young girls that, what's funny is the funny thing is Bill Cosby show had an episode when it was Vanessa. Well, she was they was dressed in a certain way to sneak into a concert. So it just kind of brought that into my mind. But she was underage, Mama got on her behind, but yeah, she was sneaking into clubs and in the bar, concert.
It's been happening since the beginning of time, and it's never going nowhere.
But it's just R. Kelly was the one that got caught. It's happening. Yeah. It's probably still happening now.
Because he kept throwing it in people's faces.
Yeah,
he kept throwing it in everybody's face.
He cocky as hell. He cocky.
Do you all remember that he did with Torre? When Torre asked him, did he like to have relationships with teenage girls? And
when you say teenage, what do you mean?
Is that like really, dude? Did you just just snitch on yourself on live TV? Right. Really?
When you say
what is well, I'm about to say, bro, I know you ain't this stupid to know what teenage is.
He could have said, 18 and over, but
exactly.
What do you mean by teenage?
You just made yourself look guilty, like Torre really just looked at him like, really, nigga? You just said that.
I just gave you the easiest question. You could have said no.
Exactly. You could like y'all said, you could have said, yes, I like my girls 18 and over. You could have said that. You could have said, you could have said anything else but that. I'm just saying that now.
I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just mad I'm not gonna get trapped in the closet 3. I'm just mad.
Well, you know what? You're gonna get trapped in the jail.
No, what you gonna okay. You gonna get it ain't gonna be called trapped in jail, it's gonna be called trapped with Bubba. That's what it's gonna be called. You're gonna be trapped with Big Tiny. He gonna really believe he can fly in that jail experience.
Oh my
goodness. But you have a lot.
He said he gonna step in the name of love for the wrong reason.
Yeah, boy.
But you know what? I really just wanted to kind of get in on this topic. I'm probably going to be back with this more often. I took a hiatus. I kind of took a break from going live. But we talk about trending topics all the time. We also, beyond this was just one episode about one topic, but I normally talk about more things about mental health awareness, all types of things. So I'm getting ready to bring this back. So if you guys want to come back and come with me and talk about whatever you want to talk about, this is the show for you. This is just kind of an impromptu night tonight. So it wasn't structured. I just wanted to talk about this subject because it was too good to not talk about it. So you're more than welcome to join me. I'll let y'all know when I go back live. I might be going back live next week. I'm thinking I'm starting to get back happy about doing this again. What you got, K-Styles?
I'm gonna ask y'all all a question, and people that might know, the couple people that still might be watching it, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Mm-hmm. With R. Kelly going through this shit, how long you think it's gonna be before he starts snitching on the whole industry? If he know he ain't finna get out.
You seen the first 48? How long does it take?
boy.
Hey, you give them a Coca-Cola and a cigarette, they start.
Oh yeah. Boy, once they put that verdict, that sentence to him, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be singing like a nerd.
He gonna take a plea bargain. He gonna snitch on everybody. He gonna snitch on all executives, presidents, everybody that threw him. Oh Lord, executives, artists, he gonna snitch because the one thing that I've noticed about him, he very cocky for a reason. And cocky people in that situation is going to snitch.
Nino Brown.
Nino Brown.
Nino Brown. Hey, the first artist we see going to Cuba, they in it.
Yep.
First artist we see going to perform in Cuba.
Why? Look, why do you think Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in jail?
Yeah.
I see the air quotes.
Yeah. Because you know what? Because he was so dumb, the record label give him give him money, give him women. Well,
exactly.
I ain't gonna risk nothing on the man.
There's nothing else to say to that.
I just, you know what? You know, me and my daughter was talking about it. I said, damn, when he come out, he allowed to be 80 something. She said, Daddy, he'll come out in a box then. Hell, baby, well.
Shit.
You know, he ain't, you know, because this is just the first case.
Yeah.
He still got other cities that he got to be go to trial. So this man finna be, I don't know where he finna be residing because you better get comfortable.
Boy, they
he's there for. He ain't getting out.
I got a list of names and I'm telling on everybody.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he coming out. And that's what I'm waiting on. I'm give me the tea. Who else is a part of this? Because I need to know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Boy,
all these peers in the music industry.
But my thing is, I'm gonna have this last question, then we're gonna go ahead and close it out. He has a catalog of music though. Now,
no doubt.
Now,
shit. They want that catalog.
Okay, you know, R. Kelly passes on or whatever happens to R. Kelly, happens R. Kelly, but his music is still great. And you already know that these artists now are not original. How would you feel if they redo some of his music and put it out there? Would you accept that? Would you listen to a revamp of R. Kelly's music?
No.
Because you know he's gonna try to sell his catalog, and he's actually trying to sell his catalog right now.
No. Ain't nobody can do 12 play like that. No. Unless they do a gospel version, I don't know.
Not a gospel version.
Hey, we already. Look, R. Kelly already has a gospel song. It's called "I Believe I Can Fly." I believe I can fly.
But you gotta think about it though. I'm not talking about the tracks that R. Kelly was on, but just everything that he's written.
Like
he has a big. Like they say, he almost got. I haven't seen I wish I had the article, but he's up there with the likes of Michael Jackson as far as what he has, as far as what he's written.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if we do hear a sample of R. Kelly in our near future. You know, some people gonna probably be like, you know, I don't care. He's a great artist. I'm gonna continue to play his, you know, do his music and give him an honor.
Well, being honest, I think years from now, it's gonna be somebody that pick up R. Kelly's music, and it's not gonna bother that generation. They're gonna love his music.
They gonna know who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You know, because I mean, shoot, good music lasts forever. I mean, that's just true.
Yeah. So it's like, and I agree with that. It's like the music that he wrote had a message in it, you know, and the person that might redo it, of course, they're not a pedophile, you know, they just like that because it was a beautiful song, and they're gonna, you know, so it's like if it gets out there, I wouldn't mind hearing it again, you know what I'm saying, like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do hear some R. Kelly stuff. He just got too much out there to not get airplay. That's just the bottom line of that. So, with that being said, K Styles, you got something? We're gonna go ahead and close this out.
I'm about to say, I'll be damned if I hear "Stepped in the Name of Love" by Lil Uzi Vert. I'll be damned if I gotta hear that shit.
Wait. I don't want to. Not original anymore.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this. Now, years from now, when we in the nursing home, and step in the name of love. Come on, you getting up?
Hell yeah,
I'm getting up. I'm ready to step in
It
the
better
name.
not be Lil Uzi Vert. I'm telling you that much. It better be R.
I'm
Kelly
dancing.
Vert.
I'll be dancing like, oh, he's a pedophile, but his music is good.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, cause
You're welcome.
hey man, that definitely, man. I love having a laugh here. But like you were saying about the pedophiles and stuff earlier, as far as stuff and being cancel culture, there's one name nobody ever brings up, and I'm just gonna say the word allegedly because I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble here, so we're just gonna say allegedly, and that's Woody Allen because he married his adopted daughter. Nobody talks about that. The daughter he adopted when she was a young kid, he married the same chick.
I'm saying it's out there, man. It's so much we can go on and on about.
Deep, bruh.
It's deep. We can go on and on about Hollywood now. That's a whole nother episode.
How look how Elvis Presley's first wife was 13 years old. Yeah. We can go there.
Oh yeah. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and close that on out. I appreciate everybody that joined me on this impromptu show. It wasn't scripted. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and give y'all last thoughts. If you got anything that you want to plug, go ahead and do that. We'll start with K Styles and then Chrissy and Joe. It's whatever, just promote yourself. This is part you just promote yourself.
Sis Man K Styles on all platforms. Also part of Atlanta Falcon Nation, which is ran by Anime over here. So I got to deal with her on multiple times. So like I said, if you see her get choked out one show, they just let you know. No, I'm just playing. But for real, like I said, 6-Man K Styles, all platforms, YouTube as well. Like I said, Falcon content creator, Georgia Tech, whatever. I talk about whatever. You just give me the word. And like I said, I appreciate Maggie letting me get on here and talk about something out of my lane, because this type of stuff is what nobody really knows that we really talk about.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Chrissy, Miss Teacher.
I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Chrissy Love on Instagram as well, and Crystal on Facebook. I appreciate you letting me jump on here as well, and good to see you doing your thing. And
thank you.
I am a sports fan, just like Maggie is. So we go back with the Hawks, Falcons, everything.
Yes.
So I would definitely want to do this again. I enjoyed myself.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I really am excited about doing this again. So I'll definitely be reaching out to you and say, hey, let's talk about this. And look, if y'all got any topics and you want to bring it up, bring it to me. I'm like, let's do it. I'm all open for suggestion. Appreciate you, Chrissy. And Joe, I see you got like a whole background. Look like you kind of do podcasts.
Oklahoma Sooners back there. I see it back there.
All right. Number one.
Hey, look, I was trying to make it out back there. Then I saw the big I like, yeah, that Oklahoma Sooners right there, man. Like I said, I ain't
always. But I appreciate you all. Yeah, this is my first time, trying to get this stuff to work. And I like this kind of stuff. I like
me too.
I like talking and not arguing. That's the kind of thing I like, I'm like, let's discuss it. We don't have to argue about it, because at the end of the day, we still on the same side, no matter what. So, when we can get together like this and talk about something, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So thank you.
And you're welcome. Yes. And now you said it's the first time doing this, so you're not doing any podcasts or anything like that. You got a whole microphone and everything.
I know.
But I'm trying to do it so I'm not, I'm learning. So okay. I'm not like you. I ain't a professional yet. Like y'all.
I take that honor. I'm not a professional either.
Look at the symbol behind your head. Look what's that up? What is that symbol behind you?
I need to step my game up too.
Oh, this is a green screen for us. We made our background. Yeah.
I know. I need to step my game up.
Yeah,
Look, my
yeah,
whole
you can do
setup,
that.
my whole
I don't teach
setup
you how to do
costs
that next time,
$20,
Chrissy.
bro. I ain't got
Okay.
nothing.
But
So yeah, I
anything
can
on, I
change my
would love to be
background to
back
whatever I
on her
want to.
again.
Oh yeah, please,
Definitely.
please. Find me Miss Maggie T on Instagram, Facebook is MS Maggie T. Find me anywhere. If you're on
Okay.
Facebook, I know you was on YouTube, but find me on any Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Message me, and if you really want to come on this show, I'm more than happy to doing it.
Okay.
But that's it, you
Oh,
guys. Let's go
where'd
ahead
my
and
camera
close
go?
this out. No, you cut it off some type of way, but we're finna close it out. But y'all can just
Yeah.
hang back if y'all want to talk after that. But on that note, everybody, subscribe to Sultry Seconds. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in and share this content out. And we will be back maybe next week. I think I'm feeling it right now. I don't know what the topic's gonna be
All
yet, but I
right.
think I'm gonna do this again. So look, I'll be reaching out to y'all if y'all want to jump on with me. To the next time, this is Maggie T with Sultry Seconds, and we are out, people. Let's go ahead and
Peace.